WJB0713. How to walk in the way of the greatest Creator. In response to WJB0713, Part 3. Xiefeng. For 5,000 years, humanity's understanding of the greatest Creator has been fragmented and incomplete. Without a correct and relatively complete understanding of the greatest Creator, it is impossible to give rise to reverence for Him. Without this reverence, one's life will be lost and filled with suffering, and for all of human society, hidden dangers will remain unresolved, making it impossible to build a harmonious, peaceful order and coexistence with nature. For an individual who seeks a perfect life, there is only one path, the way of the greatest Creator. For humankind to find its way out of confusion and chaos, there is only one path, the way of the greatest Creator. The best way to understand the greatest Creator is to awaken spiritual perception, to face the greatest Creator directly and communicate with Him personally. If this is not yet possible, then as Xuanzi said in Encouraging Learning, we should make good use of external things. Listen to the words of Jesus, contemplate the wisdom of Sakyamuni, read the Quran and the Tao Te Ching, and accept the insights brought by scientific exploration. If even these are not enough, then observe butterflies, dragonflies, and birds, how they fly, watch how seeds sprout, grow, blossom, and bear fruit. From all these, one can come to know the greatest Creator. At present, the most profound and comprehensive discourse on the greatest Creator in human history is Lifechanyuan, the chapter of the greatest Creator. It can be said that to walk the way of the greatest Creator, one must begin by reading the chapter of the greatest Creator. To walk the way of the greatest Creator, one must distinguish between the greatest Creator and gods. The greatest Creator is the greatest Creator, gods are gods. They are not to be conflated. The greatest Creator is one and only, gods are many. Jesus is a God, yet He clearly taught us to carry out the will of the Heavenly Father, the greatest Creator. Therefore, to walk the way of the greatest Creator is fully in accordance with the teachings and intentions of Jesus. Thus, if someone tells us to walk in the way of gods or to follow the words of gods, we must be alert and guard against going astray, for even Satan is a god. Of course, we should also not follow the paths of Buddhas, celestial beings, mortals, or demons. The wisdom of Buddha is vast and unfathomable. We may absorb his wisdom and use it as a stepping stone, but we should not walk the path of Buddha. Out of great compassion, Sakyamuni Buddha often emphasized that the Dharma is neither Dharma nor non-Dharma, that he did not speak fixed teachings, and that once we have crossed the river, the raft must be left behind, so that we may go directly to the primordial Buddha, the greatest Creator. Therefore, walking the way of the greatest Creator is fully in harmony with the teachings and intentions of Buddha Sakyamuni. Celestial beings represent the realm of life we aspire to, the ultimate goal of our journey. Our purpose is to become celestial beings and enter heaven, the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium world, that is, to ascend to the higher spaces of life. But to become a celestial being, the prerequisite is to walk the way of the greatest Creator. If the frequency of our soul cannot resonate in harmony with the frequency of the greatest Creator's Spirit, we cannot attain the qualities of a celestial being, and we cannot enter higher life spaces. The way of mortals is not the path to take. The mortal path is filled with suffering, misfortune, hardship, and danger. It is filled with contradiction, sorrow, doubt, and helplessness. If we do not leave the mortal path, we will remain lost in a boundless sea of suffering. Therefore, we should not follow the words of mortals. No matter how wise a person appears, they cannot grasp the full mystery of the universe, time, space, life, and existence. Their vision can only reach 10 or 100 years, they cannot foresee 1,000 or 10,000 years. So, following the words of mortals will inevitably lead us astray, no matter if that person is a ruler, a noble, a celebrity, or a scholar. As for the way of demons, we must guard against the following points. First, do not pursue supernatural powers. Demons and monsters all possess such abilities, and we must not be deceived by them. Second, do not engage in fortune-telling, divination, lot drawing, or spirit-inviting rituals. We walk in the way of the greatest Creator. Whatever happens, good or bad, we entrust it all to the arrangement of the way. All follows the law of cause and effect. Let the greatest Creator preside silently behind the scenes. Walking the way of the greatest Creator means not relying on gods, Buddhas, or celestial beings. We respect gods and Buddhas and honor celestial beings and mortals, but we do not depend on them. We depend only on the greatest Creator. Therefore, we do not join any religious organization or political party. We must cast off the spiritual chains placed upon us by gods, Buddhas, and celestial beings, and go straight to the core, the greatest Creator. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to cultivate a sound and noble character. We do not seek favor from the powerful, nor do we go with the worldly crowd. In the eyes of the greatest Creator, all are equal, no one is above or beneath another. We do not rely on the wealthy or the famous in our hearts, nor do we despise the poor, the weak, or the beggars. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to revere all life and to revere nature. We cherish and care for all forms of life, not only our own, but the lives of others, not only human life, but the lives of all animals, even insects. Nature is the gift of the greatest Creator to humanity. We may say that nature is like a kind and nurturing mother. Just as we love our mother, we must love nature. Any action that harms nature is like harming our own mother, something we cannot tolerate, and must never partake in. We cherish not only great mountains and rivers, the blue sky and fresh air, but even a stream, a flower, or a blade of grass. We must hold reverence for them all. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to study both scientific and spiritual knowledge. We must not use science to deny spiritual truth, nor use spirituality to deny science. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to enter Lifechanyuan, and to regard Chanyuan celestials as your confidants, friends, brothers and sisters, family members or lovers. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to thoroughly read every article in the Lifechanyuan corpus and every article in the Xiefeng corpus. Without reading comprehensively, we will see a range from the front and a peak from the side, our view will be partial, and we will lose the way. To walk the way of the greatest Creator is to think freely and break free from habitual thought patterns. We must scale the mountains of the mind and fly toward the greatest possible space of freedom, toward the vastness and infinity of time and space. WJB0713, this is my response to your questions across the 3 articles. I hope they bring you satisfaction.